when working under a car, support the car with at least 2 trestles. Right, so on this side I've taken the wheel off. I have removed the brake caliper for the reason that I can get to the control arm with more ease. Now I'm just going to remove the disc as well. Right, so this is the lower control arm, and there's a ball joint here. So what I need to do is there's a screw there that needs to come out, and there at the back over here, it's 1, 2, and this comes out all completely, so you don't have to get that out. This thing comes out, so it's 1, 2, and this ball joint over here. So you have to loosen that nut, and then if you can, just take a screwdriver and try and pry this, or just open this a little bit, and this will pop out. This is often quite tight. Right, so there's a little opening at the back here. If you can, just take a screwdriver and just kind of wedge it a bit. Right, so you must take this out. Also good if you can spray some WD-40 or something similar. Right, let that penetrate, and now you can open the other sides there, and then you can knock this out when you're done. Right, it's sometimes difficult to get this bolt out, and you have to just wiggle it. You can do it like that, and you can see how the whole control arm is now coming loose. Right, now you can just tap this out. And there's your control arm. Right, now just inspecting it, you can see this ball joint has popped open. Unfortunately, they have to replace this, because if you go over a sand road, sand gets in there, it eventually wears out the ball joint. So unfortunately, this will have to be replaced. You can press these out on some control arms instead of replacing the whole arm. So on some arms, you can just get new rubbers, press them in, and then just change that. It's sometimes cheaper. When you're ordering the parts, just make sure you get the right one, because there is a different fitting for the Mazda 3. It doesn't have the nuts welded in. As you can see here, they're welded in, and also this is wider. So this particular one is the one with the nuts welded in, obviously. I highly recommend you buy high quality, lower control arms. All right, I just clean the area with some thinners. Right, it's now time to install the lower control arm. What I normally do is I actually start with the ball joint side, and then I align this side and that side. Now, very important is, if you have a look, there's a rubber here and there's a rubber there. If you tighten the control arm while it's like that, then when the car is lowered and the wheel naturally comes up because of the weight of the car, you'll actually damage this rubber. So it's very important that when you finally tighten your bolts, you must make sure the control arm is at the resting position where the car would normally be when it was on the ground. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, a brand new control arm should have quite a stiff ball joint. Right, now what I do is I take a jack and I put it here. Don't jack directly onto the ball joint, put something softer on it. So I'm just going to put a folded magazine or a piece of wood, whatever suits you. Right, so the ball joint is in, and what you need to do is you just need to put this in there. Now, if you've pressed it too far up, you won't be able to align this. You don't force this in. So all I need to do now is just tap it down gently. As you can see, the jack is still here, but it's not pressing tightly on this ball joint anymore. So I'm just going to tap this down a bit. Right, now this bolt should go through, just like that. Don't force anything. Now I don't need to tighten it now, nothing will come out, and I can now move the jack a little bit. Right, so all I need to do is align these two sides. Okay, 1, 2, right. Now as you can see here, it's not lining up nicely. Right, so all I need to do is put this in place now. As you can see, there I'm putting it in place, but you must put some thread locker on the bolt. As you can see, I've put a few drops there. Now I'm just doing the bolts at the back. If you're struggling with these bolts, just use the jack to assist by lifting up the control arm a little bit. If you find this is not going in properly, you just need to wiggle this until it goes in. Right, these you can fasten fully now. The minimum is about 110 and the maximum, in my opinion, is 130. I wouldn't torque this more than 130, especially since you've got the thread locker on the threads. Now at this point you want to tighten this one over here, but you can't tighten that one until this remains level. Otherwise you're going to damage that rubber. So what you want to do is you want to jack up the car until the car wants to lift off the trestle. Just before it lifts off the trestle, you tighten that one. Right, now as you can see, I've lifted mine a bit off the trestle, and the reason why I've done that is because my car's at a bit of an angle. So now I can tighten this one. As you can see, the rubber would be almost straight. Right, now as you can see, I've lifted the car just a little bit above the trestle. But if you find this is still not going in properly, you can reduce the jack a bit just to make sure the bolt goes in. So now you can see I'm tightening this while the control arm is almost level. Right, I torque this to 140 Newton meters. Right, now I can remove the jack slowly. And now I just need to put this nut back, and I also recommend you put thread locker on this bolt. Right, I just torque this to 45 Newton meters. Right, now in my case, I've taken the brake caliper off to just create some space here, so I'm just going to put this back on quickly. Right, now I'm going to put my disc on. Just remember to put some thread locker on your caliper bolts. Torqued it to 120 Newton meters.